basic formulas. Now, we want to calculate the minimum values in July. Minimum, that will be equals to what? Equals to, there's a this thing, mean. Now, we want to go into functions. Now, we are going to functions, basic formulas. You can see that there are options here. You can either click on the options here. This is main. You can just scroll down a bit and press tab. That's to auto complete. Tab to auto complete. But then, if you don't know what this function is for, you can just come to, this is the function argument. So you can read up on what is going on. This is the function argument. So you can read up. It says number 1. It says number 1, number 2 are 1 to 25, 1 to 225 empty cells, logical values or text number for which you want the minimum. So you want to return the minimum of a particular cell. So let's just, okay, I've not selected formula yet. So you can just select this, then you drag down. You want to know the minimum number of this particular selected cell. Then press equals to. So you see that the cell is 150. The minimum cell is 150. And that method is max. If you want to check the maximum, you can, maybe you don't know the formula for maximum. You can come to formulas and that method now. You can come to formulas, come to more functions, come to you don't have to go to more functions. You just look for where formula is. We have auto sum, we have recently used, we have financial, we have logical, text, date and time. So it depends. Some should be under max. So you just check under max. You check sum, max. We are looking for max. Max. So maximum is not under. How is it not under max? So maximum is not under max. That means you can go to more function, go to statistical. It will be under statistical. So under statistical, you get max. So that's just it. You just input max. Then you want a whole cell. So you can just pick the whole cell here and press OK. So that's the maximum for this cell. Let's say we want to find average. Now, assuming I don't know what average is, or I don't know how to get average or something, you can just come to tell me what to do here, or ask. Maybe your own might be ask or tell me what to do. Then find average. Press enter. Oh, this is some. I said average. Average is under statistical. So it's not the function of max. Average under statistical. So you can say average of. Now average of what cells? Let's highlight the total cells. Function argument. You can read what it means. It says that returns the average. That's average simply means mean. And when you are finding mean, what do? You sum the total of all the units together and you divide by their count. If you have 5 students and you want to find the mean of their score, you sum their score together and divide by 5. That shows you the average mean. So which can be numbers or something like that. So you can just read. If you have issues, you can just read. You can just type your function. Let's see. You can just type your function here. Sum. Click sum. Then you come to function arguments. By that, you can read more on that function. So now let's do count. We want to count. Assume we want to count number of our cells. We have different type of counts. We have counts. I'll explain theory now. We have counts. We have count A and we have count blank. And I will show you the difference of three of them. Count A, count blank. Oh shit. So count, what does count does? Equals to counts. You can use tab to complete, not enter please. You use tab to complete. Once you have it, you can just use tab, or you can scroll down to it and click tab. So what does count does? Count, let's look at what the argument says. Count the number of cells in a range that contains number. That is the key. That is the key point. The key point is it counts the number of cells that contains numbers. So let's say we want to count this cell now, which is 5, and you get 5. That it counts that contains number. So now what does count A does? Count A. Count A says that this counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. This one is counting the number of cells in a range that are not empty. This will also give us 5 because none of our range are empty, so it will give us 5. While count blank, just like the name implies, it will count the number of cells that are empty, that are blank. So if you do count blank, so count the number of cells that are empty, 0. So now if you turn this stiff here to none, our count will turn to 0. Our count, it will turn to 4. Why? Because none is not a number. Count deals with numbers. The count function, it counts numbers, not text. Count numbers. So we can undo that. Control Z, and count A will remain 5 since it counts empty. Now if I delete this now, count A is now 4 because here we selected 5. If you look at our function, we selected 5. This thing, look at the 5. 1, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But our formula is telling us that the answer is 4. Why is it 4? Because there's an empty cell, and count blank is already showing 1. That means there's an empty cell. There's a cell that is empty. So that's the difference between count A and count blank.